Hello again, guys. It's Gregola Productions here, and welcome back to a new episode of the GPWS. Today, we're back with the Westclox SPHINX. If you haven't seen part 1, I recommend going and checking that out. And if you have seen part 1, then we have received word from Jim Thompson, aka the Alarm Clock Doc. The link to his website will be in the description. I've been talking to Jim for a little while now. He's a nice guy, and he's sure as heck been helping me out. There's all kinds of new information and all kinds of useful repair tips that he's given me. So thank you very much, Jim, if you're actually watching this. I hope you are. And today, we are going to go through the PDF that he actually wrote me. Yes, he wrote me a step-by-step PDF document, and we're going to go through that, and we're going to see how we can reattach this wheel to this magical little shaft here, which we're having so much difficulty actually trying to do. And I went on eBay and I ordered the cheapest staking set I could find. That might have been a huge mistake, but I don't know. These stakes, I mean, they don't seem bad, but I don't know how great they are. Sometimes cheapest isn't always the best, as we all know. And I'm not having second thoughts yet, though. If this can get this job done, at least we'll have that. And I don't know about, like, with replacing pocket watch balance staffs and stuff, I don't know how good of a job this will do. This part of the staking set, I have not learned the name of this yet. We're not going to be using this in this particular saga. We're going to be using just the stakes, and I don't have a little hammer to use. So we're going to have to use a full-sized one. I'm trying not to damage the back of the stakes doing that. But yeah, I will try and find a little hammer, either brass or steel. But we're going to see what we can cook up here. So the first step in Jim's document, the document will be in the description, is get as much epoxy residue off this wheel as you can possibly get. Because I had this thing epoxied on, and I think I've done just about all I can do there. I don't know if there's anything else that's going to come off of that. It won't scrape off anymore. So I'm just going to try it like that. The second step that's on his document, you can pull it up if you want and follow along with this, is getting this knob off of this shaft here. I'm not entirely sure what the purpose of that is. I'm not sure what advantage that, to what advantage I'm, you know, what the purpose of that is, but I guess we'll try it anyway. It'll probably, knowing how this stuff works, it'll probably be better later on if that knob is not on there. I'm also half tempted to just disassemble this movement. I have to mess around with that flag, the power outage flag on this thing. So yeah, getting this knob off may not be actually the worst idea. And it's not like this thing has to be assembled anyway for this wheel to be installed on there. While I'm at it, I don't even think I'm going to use this wheel because I filed the epoxy off, and we've lost some material on that brass cullet. So I think I'm going to grab another one of these wheels and just go with it. It's the exact same design. And yeah, I think it would just be better all the way around if I did that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a new experimental thing I've kind of devised here. I'm using this Black & Decker Workmate, and I've got the this arbor sticking in the crack here between these two pieces of wood. There's a hole drilled right there, so I'm going to put the center arbor through that. Because if I just have it all on one surface, the center arbor is just going to be there, and it's all going to go like that. So, yeah, that center arbor needs to be through something. So, essentially what this is a adjustable jig. So, I've got two cranks here, and I can tighten this and put these two boards together, and hopefully it'll actually hold this arbor in place. Okay, well that didn't work at all because this is way too short, so we're just going to have it mounted on here. It's not going to be in there tight at all. We're just going to see what we can cook up here. Two of the suggestions for the knob removal would be to take pliers and lever this off in one way or another. You're gonna actually have to look at the document to see how Jim described that. And there was also a second method there. Take two screwdrivers and go in the slots on either side and just pry it apart. I might do that because I think I've tried the first method, you know, messing around with pliers and trying to lever stuff off. And plus, this isn't being held by anything, so if I try to lever this off, it's good. The finger is just going to be up against the bell, and I don't know, it's just a goofy situation. It's gonna be all loose and probably not even work. So we're gonna try taking screwdrivers, getting in those cracks and twisting them and trying to pop this off that way. This method is so experimental and so untested, so I don't know, guys. We're gonna go on an adventure together here. That's kind of the premise of this. I'll try and film it as best as I possibly can, but knowing how these things go, I'm always gonna somehow get my hand in front of the camera. So yeah, this blade fits, but I don't know if I have any others that'll even, and I don't want to snap this either. That would suck. And also, this is also being spread out just a bit. Yeah, I need to do that on both sides, not just one. Yeah, I don't know if I have any other screwdrivers. Yeah, see, I'm bending up this blade. I'm gonna go get a better, or actually a worse screwdriver, and one I don't really care about, and just kind of go at it from there. I'm also going to try the old method. Actually, before I do that, this is the old classic. Just take your, oh, I'm not even doing it from the right angle. Take your pliers, kind of go under there, and just pry stuff off. I guess I'm going to have to do it like that. I might even need another pair because this isn't high enough for me, so I might have to go get the pry bar too. I don't know if that screwdriver method is going to work. I don't know if the blades I have will even fit that, let alone if they do, they won't just get completely obliterated. And plus, that's getting scratched. The knob itself is actually getting scratched up by me doing that, so I don't know. I'm still half tempted to grab a knob puller and just go at it. I know Jim said this wouldn't work, but I figured, you know, it'd at least be worth a try. What I've done is I've got a bearing, I've just stuck it on top of the knob. This is one of those really kind of modern gear pullers where you've got a spike in the middle. It's this type. I'm sure you've all seen them before. They're very, very kind of rickety, and I don't really like them all that much, to be completely honest with you. They only work in very specific, see, like that right there, you know, that type of thing. They're very, very rickety, and they don't, I don't know, they kind of work. You have to have a pretty big gear to even justify using one. My goodness, that is not staying on there. I should get some like sticky tack or something. Man. It's a goofy situation, guys. It's a goofy situation. But I kind of do have to learn how to take these knobs off anyway, I'm pretty sure. I guess if I hold it like that, it's okay. Let me just get this under. Yeah, this thing is way too big and clunky to get in here and actually grip where it needs to. Or maybe it's not. Hold on. Oh yeah, no, but it's bumping into the pillar over there. Yeah, I don't think this is gonna work. That bearing on the end, by the way, that's just so this thing doesn't rip off the, or drill into the knob itself. Actually, will it drill into the knob? It's got a hole in it. It may not, actually. We might not need that bearing. Usually these knobs don't have the holes in them, but this one does, so maybe this will actually be good. Oh. Oh, shoot, yeah. See, I can't even get this in here. Yeah, I can see why Jim now said that. Oh, what is this? Oh, am I just scratching up the face of this now? A little bit. Early days, folks, early days. Bent, yeah, I don't think that's gonna work. That type of puller isn't gonna work on there. Well, it was worth a try anyway. For regular maintenance, I'm not sure how Westclox intended you get into this thing. I guess they intended you go through the knob, but there's no, it's on there so tight that, you know, how does that make any sense to go in there every 5-10 years or whatever and completely clean this out? I guess what you could do is unscrew all the screws on this. These two knobs don't go, they're not attached to the other plate, so you can lift all this stuff up. This stuff doesn't have to come off, and then this knob, that stays on there, so what you do is you take the bell and just swing it around and just work on the movement like that if you needed to get in there. I don't know, that seems like the way that actually makes the most sense, trying to disassemble this thing without taking this knob apart. Usually you can't do that on clocks, but thankfully this has that. Saving grace, at least you can, you know, swing the bell around and get access to the gears and do what you need to do. and even then you could dunk the hole once it's apart, put the whole both plates in the in whatever cleaning solution you're going to use, and you can still clean it that way. I don't know, to me that makes the most sense, instead of removing that knob every single time, which, by the way, we haven't even done successfully once. So yeah, there's knob removal can always be an interesting challenge. I might have to get like a piece of aluminum or something and get it over the back. Oh yeah, there we go. I've got this piece of aluminum, and it's got 2 holes drilled in it, and that makes, oh yeah, okay, we might actually be getting somewhere. Get a piece of metal, drill a hole in it. Oh man, I think we might be off to the, well, I shouldn't celebrate yet, but now we have something to grip on. Oh yes. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, that is the ticket. Oh, get yourself a nice piece of aluminum or steel, drill a hole in it, run it across the side there, or run it across the top, and you can pull. Oh yes. Oh, that's a cha-ching if I've ever seen one. Man, that didn't even come off that hard. Okay, well, new plan. If you know, just get one of these, literally just a scrap piece of aluminum. This is one of the most useful tools I have, by the way. Literally just this piece of aluminum right here with 2 holes drilled in it. Do all kinds of crazy stuff like that. Okay, the knob is off. Now we can move on. You can see how, like before, you know, you're playing around with your pliers. You know, you got this big open area. You have really nowhere to grip this, and there, you know, it's just kind of a schmozzle to get into this. But if you have a surface like this in here, and you can just go with your, I love these angled cutters. These are awesome for prying stuff, because you can take a screwdriver and just go like that. Sorry, that was terrible. You can take a screwdriver and just go like that, you know, pry it up like that. Oh, that is incredible, man. Basic lever physics, or mechanics, I guess. Would it be physics? I guess lever physics, I guess, levering something. I don't, anyway, let's move on. Okay, so now with the knob off, we can just take some screwdriver, literally just your big, oh, that blade is way too small. Take a screwdriver and just undo all the screws. And I don't think I explained it very well earlier, so I'm gonna say it again. This needs to come apart because the power eye on this is very janky. I don't even think it's the right, I don't know, it came off another clock that is basically identical to this one. I think the pivot wire might be slightly shorter, and I think it's also bent out of shape, so it doesn't work right. So I gotta correct that while I'm in here. And yeah, I don't see any advantage to this thing being together while you're, you know, while it's, oh, come on. I don't see any advantage to having this thing together while you're doing this knob operation. Of course, there's the money shot right there. This is how the gear train is, by the way, folks. There's your washer there. There's all this. There's some epoxy, because why not? Yeah, this attempt to fix this post did not go as well as I thought. I'm not sticking with epoxy forever, folks. This is just kind of a thing right now because I don't have like a riveting hammer or whatever else. Okay. Anyway, yeah, and also this is in the condition it's in, so I'm not too worried about that. But I'll try not to use epoxy for future reference. So that is not the way. That is not the professional way how this stuff is repaired. Okay, so there's all this stuff. This is not supposed to come off. There's also supposed to be a washer in there, but it's not there because it fell out. But it is here in the assembly of everything, so we haven't lost that. We've got a fiber gear. That's a really nice one. We've got another washer there. I'm sure you can see it. It's right over here. Got our power outage flag, or the power eye. This thing needs adjusting. I don't know what I did there. There is a alarm tension spring, which I'm pretty sure I bent out of shape in some attempt to fix this monstrosity. There's the alarm hammer powering wheel. I don't know, it's part of the alarm train. This is also part of the alarm train. This comes off. Oh, there's also these 2 gears here, which are part of the time train. Time and alarm, I guess. And they just kind of go in They go in between these wheels here. If I can just stick that back in there for a second to show you. So there's that. I find it very easy to lose track of what goes where. So yeah, I'm always carefully documenting, even if it's big and obvious. Always documenting. Also, these are documenting where everything goes. These two should be held together by a pressed-on collet, or not something to call it, some kind of brass cylinder. I don't know what the name of that is. That's pressed on there. These two should be held together by that. Yeah, so you don't need to disassemble that as far as I know. Then there's this wheel. Okay, this comes out. I believe this is the seconds hand. There's a washer on that. We're not cleaning any of this stuff because I don't really think it's dirty. Oh, there's this. Okay. There's also a washer on top of here. Yeah, there we go. I believe that is our hour pipe. There's a lot of washers in this, just so you know, in case you haven't noticed. And now we've just stripped it down to the bare minimum here. These two, this wheel isn't riveted on, but this one here is. So this is gonna stay in there. That's okay. When is this one from? Shoot, what is that? January? Oh my gosh. Okay, I think it's January of 1953. I think. It's also a 2-watt clock, so this is basically as efficient as an LED. So if you want a ton of these plugged in, go ahead, because there's no point. You're not gonna take up that much electricity having a bunch of these clocks plugged in all around your house. And I think that was part of the appeal of these things as well. This is all bent up. We'll see if we can fix that. Let's grab our other one. Okay, so that's supposed to be straight, basically. Yeah, this has a snapped off shaft where the knob removal failure happened. I still haven't found that knob, by the way. It just went flying across the room. I have no idea where it is. Okay, so yeah, this is, I'm just thinking here, how can I bend this right? Might need 2 pairs of pliers, or at least use my hands, I guess. Let's try and bend that mostly straight. I don't want that in that condition. Yeah, this was all, again, all that bending you see there, that was an attempt to get the tension right on this, and it just did not work. So you can see I've been in like every which way I think I could possibly go here. I'll just turn this, you know. This is riveted on, so that's lovely. You can see this is clearly a cheaper clock, and they were kind of all like this in the 50s. Well, I say that very, very loosely. Be careful what you talk about when you say that. But definitely this, you know, it's definitely a mass-produced thing here. It's competing with GE, and they never expected. I mean, well, I guess they still sold parts manuals for this thing. If you wanted to get, like, let's say you snapped the arbor or something with the knob on it, you could order a totally new alarm shaft and everything. You could order one of these gears brand new, and I'm sure it would have things here that we're going to talk about later. Okay, I think this is good now, so we're gonna just get going here, and we're gonna install our the thing everyone's been waiting for, the pressed on wheel here. So we're gonna just get the washer for that, because there's a washer that goes with this, a double D-shaped washer. It goes right in there. And there's this this guy here, and this guy here, and I think it all just goes right through this. Yeah, I think that's as simple as it gets right there. I think that's it. There we go. There it all is. And yeah, okay. So with that being said, we can actually put this aside now and work on our wheel. And I've also just kind of realized I'm definitely probably going to go over the 15-20 minute mark, so I've decided I'm going to stop the video here, but don't worry, it'll be a double upload. So I'm just going to keep filming, and we'll have the next one out for you here right away, and you'll see what happens next. Thanks you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.